ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ ईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ Sai Ram, everyone. Welcome again to the Govind Satsangh series, as Haryana calls this. Not COVID Satsang, but the Govind Satsang. And we are very fortunate to have a family joining us. We've been having a few of them brothers joining together. We've already had one pair of brothers joining us, and today we have the second pair of the brother series happening. We have brother Arul Selvanathan here today, and I'm going to let Haryana do the honors of introducing him.
Sai Ram to all of you. It is my great pleasure welcoming Thiru Arul Selvanathan. Because his name is so pure Tamil, I don't like to say Sri Arul Selvanathan. Thiru Arul Selvanathan for two purposes. One is in respect Thiru, another is his wife's name is Thiru. So Thiru and Arul are together. So Thiru Arul Selvanathan, a darling brother of mine. Before that, I want to introduce Arivadithan, his eldest brother, who was with me, with Swami, and Aruno. All of you have heard a great, wonderful philosopher speaker. Now another great person, Arul Selvanathan. At present, he is from Swami's University. At present, he is the president of one of the biggest centers of the world, Scarborough. He is the president of that center. One has to experience bhajans there, the crowd, the bhajans, everything. He is a great artist, means he can draw very well. He is a good singer, good harmonium player, good kanjira player, good manjira player. Whenever I used to have 50, 60 concerts, all the three brothers, whole family, they always used to give their love by, accompanying, supporting like that. Very close to me by heart through Arul Selvanathan, a wonderful, innocent, but totally loving Swami. That is, his love for Swami is immeasurable. So I'm happy. I was thinking whom to call, but I thought, why Arul? But same time, Kala, my wife, she was telling, why don't you call? I was also thinking, she was also. So this shows every time Swami decides. So it's so nice to have you, Arul. We are looking forward to have wonderful satsang this evening with you. Jai Sai Ram.
Over to you, brother Arul.
Thank you, Sarah. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva vidya द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देवा त्वमेव सर्वं श्री साई देवा. Offering my humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of my beloved Lord Sai. Saram to every one of you. We are all very fortunate in the sense we are in the Sai family. I offer my gratitude to Swami to have chosen us, each and every one of us in this satsang, to immerse ourselves in the satsang, in the talk of Swami, God, and his leelas and his mahimas during the next 1 hour. When I say he has chosen us, I always feel that God chooses us and we don't choose God. But sometimes some people say that they went in search of God, but they are still in search of God forever. If we see that there are so many religions and there are so many people in this world who are devoted to God, but at the same time, they are not lucky to have seen Swami, seen God in human form. It is only Sai devotees that have the ability to see God in live form. So, because the thing is, there are so many Hindus who are really devoted, but they pray to Lord Ganesha or Lord Rama or Lord Krishna. But they are all praying to a form that an artist has drawn. But it's only Sai devotees. We had the fortune of seeing God in this human form. And if you take anyone for that matter, none of us have chosen him actually because he has chosen us. We pray to God, true, but it is only Swami has entered our lives in every one of your life. Sometimes you might think that you went in search of God and then you found it. No. If you do an introspection and thorough study of what happened in your life, it's God who has chosen us. It's Swami who has chosen us. So therefore, Sai family is more blessed than any other devotee of God. So I would like to now start the session with how Swami entered in our lives and how Swami entered in my life. So my mother's gallbladder, my brother might have mentioned already, I don't know what he spoke, but I mentioned it casually in a short way. So my mother gallbladder was not functioning properly. As a result, my father has taken her to the doctor, and the doctor had said that it has to be operated and taken out. The gallbladder has to be taken out. So that time they were talking English, thinking that my mother will not understand the language, but my mother understood what exactly. So she came home and told my father, I'm not going to get operated. I don't want the doctors to try their luck on me. We had to do something else. That time my father was working in a Lakers bookshop, and he had seen a book called Sai Baba, the Man of Miracles. Yes. And that one drew us, through that book, Swami drew our family into his fold. So my mother and father decided that we should go to Prashant Nilayam with all three of us brothers. I'm the youngest one. And so we went to Prashant Nilayam and we were there. And that day, Swami had called us for an interview. So here I would like to pause and talk about myself. I used to have something called knock knees. Both the knees will knock each other when I was small. So as a result, if I take a few steps of around 10 steps, I might fall. If I cannot run at all, because if I run, both knees knock, and in 2 steps, I will fall down. So as a result, my father used to carry me always. So when Swami had called us for interview, and my father has never told about this to Swami or done anything, but doctors had told that I should wear a metal shoe in order to correct my knees and the legs. So, but the thing is, we were not that well-to-do, so therefore we could not afford that metal shoe. So therefore we did not try that. So I was continuing to walk around and run around and then fall down and would get all the scars on my knees. So when my father, we were called for interview, my father was carrying me and walking inside. As we were entering the interview room, Swami had caressed my knees. Swami has touched my knees and caressed them, both the knees. So I was so small. I was 3.5 years old. So it's only later my father told me what had exactly happened. So the Swami had caressed my knees, and then we went inside. And then inside the interview room, Swami gave the interview, and Swami gave vibhuti to my mother, and she got cured. But then later, gradually, in a few months' time, I was perfectly normal with regular knees. So today, that's the way Swami entered into my life. So I always say, I'm walking my life, I'm living my life holding his hands, Triple H, holding his hands. So from then onwards till today, he's everything for me. And that's how he entered into my life. So from the time that I started knowing, coming to an age of understanding what God, and we start praying, I always had Swami as God, and we are really fortunate to be his devotee. So from then, that time onwards, I always wanted to be close to Swami, because we had made few visits in 1972 and also in 1975. We had made visits to Swami, and so by then I had the interest of being in Swami's college, Swami's school institution. So what happened was in 1975, there was Islam High School was being built, and Sri Lankan devotees had gone to present a play called Siddhartha. So Gautama Buddha's drama. So I was the Bala Siddhartha, the smallest Siddhartha, and my oldest brother was the one who was supposed to act as the real Gautama Buddha. So we had gone to Prashant. At that time, we were asked to stay in East Rama High School. So staying there, I got to know that it's Swami's school. So since then, I wanted to be in Swami's school so that I can have close proximity to Swami. So that was the interest that I had. With that interest, and the interest was also created by Swami, I would say. And all of us, though we are close to Swami now, and we might assume that we have started praying to Swami, actually he has drawn us. So that's how I got the interest to be close to Swami, and got the interest to study in Swami's college. And once we have the yearning to be close to God, and he draws us. So the Swami once said, in our previous lives, all the Sai devotees, all the Sai devotees, whether you were a student or you are not a student, you have come to know Swami after Swami left his physical form or not, it doesn't matter. But we are all fortunate, and we were basically chosen by him. And in one of our previous births, we had desired to be close to God in the physical form. That's the reason God has drawn us in this form close to him. So now we talk of this. We are in a current situation where COVID-19, and Brother Harihan has said that this COVID-19. So actually, I would agree with him completely, for the reason this pandemic, they call it, but here actually for us, we are the most fortunate and really lucky, because we are thinking of God more and more. We have the ability to get involved in so many satsang around the world. I'm in Canada, and you are in Singapore, and some of them are in Sri Lanka, and some of my friends in India, they are taking part in this satsang. There are people from all parts of the world able to think of God at the same time. Swami had started a global Akhanda Bhajan for the reason, because all over the world, we are supposed to sing the name of God at the same time. That's the reason Swami started here. Swami has created a situation where we all are thinking of God at the same time, and we are speaking of his glory at the same time, all over the world. So this is a situation created by Swami for us. At the same time, I would say that Sai devotees will not suffer anything, anytime during this pandemic. When I say Sai devotees will not suffer, the devotees whom God has chosen, Swami has chosen us. Now, some of the members will ask, oh, what do you mean by Swami saving us, Swami not saving us? Or some people will feel that they are not saved. No, I would agree. I would say that Swami will save all his devotees. You may ask why? Because the reason is we are his children. So everything depends on prayer and grace. So in our lives, we all have built a relationship with God. So if you ask, what is our relationship with God? I would say, take your life as a phone call, incoming call and outgoing call. And if you take an email, it's inbox and sent box. Okay, so all other prayers. Now we'll say you are married or we have children. In our relationship with our family, with our wife, we'll say, for example, if we go outside, we would like to come back to home a certain time so that we can be with our spouse. Sometimes some people jokingly say, husband is supposed to bend to the wife. That's why bend to the house. So they just jokingly say, we had to come home always because my wife will scold us otherwise. So it's not that. So some people, some wives might scold, but I think they scold also with love. And I think husbands come home early, or wives do everything for husband because of the relationship that they have with the spouse. In the same way, sometimes children will expect you to come to a sports gathering, something. They will say they are playing something or performing in a school. They expect the father to come or mother to come to the particular program. And we make sure that we apply for leave or we try to cut something else and we try to go there. What is the reason we are doing it? We are trying to please that individual. Either son or daughter or spouse, we are trying to please them. That is the relationship that we have with them. So in the same way, God, we have a relationship with God. But our relationship with God depends on how we treat him. I always say, prayer is the send box, outgoing call, and grace is the incoming call or the inbox. So now we'll say, now if we treat Swami as our mother, at home you will go and say, so, Amma, mother, I want to have this food today. I want to have ice cream. Or you will go to the father and say, I want this particular toy, or you want this particular shirt, or something material stuff, you will ask. But when you are asking for those things, we are not demanding, saying that, oh, we are not praising. We are saying, oh, you are the Almighty One, you are so rich, and I'm dependent on you. Kind of, we don't do that. We say, Appa, we want that. Oh, Mama, we want this. We ask. In the same way, we have a relationship with God. So it all depends what kind of relationship you have. If you have a friend, you will ask, I would like to get something. Or if your friend is connected to someone else and would know that you know that you can get something from them, get some help from them, you will ask in a friendly way. You will not say, oh, you are Almighty One, can you give me this, can you get this done for me? No, we just ask him and then he does it. In the same way, God also, we ask and we can ask anything and he will give us anything. So that's why I call it prayer is the outgoing call from us, what we are doing, and grace is what he is doing. With everything in our prayer, so some people ask, is prayer thanking God or asking God? So they will say, oh, we are praying to Swami. We prayed to Swami to bless us with this. He didn't give us, or he gave us. And prayer is not supposed to be selfish. We are supposed to pray to God. We are supposed to thank God. But in my opinion, both are one and the same. Both are part of the relationship. Because sometimes when a friend does something to you, you thank him. And the same way, you can thank God also, God, you gave me this, I'm so happy. At the same time, you will ask your friend something, then please give me this, and then God gives you. And friend gives you, and they say you thank the friend later. The same way you can ask God anything. So God gives you. So I'll try to give an my experience of me asking and God giving. There was in my life, I would say. So people, some of the side devotees say, oh, once you surrender to God, we should ask anything and God will give you everything. So the thing is, there, God knows everything, but the thing is, He will give you only when you ask. I'll talk about the definition a little later. I'll give one of my experience. So in 1980, both my brothers had joined the college, Baba's College, Swami's College. My oldest brother joined in 1978. My second brother joined in 1979. And I was doing my 10th class in 1980. That time, during the summer vacation, instead of my brothers coming to Sri Lanka, we had decided that we'll go to India and be in Swami's present at the same time, see my brother, and spend the summer for 1 month. So when we had gone there, Swami called us for an interview. That time, when you got the interview, Swami had asked, as usual, Amy Samachar. So then my mother had said, Swami, my youngest son Arul is here and he wants to join Swami's college. Then Swami, for some reason, I had said, oh, there are 2 brothers here with me, your son, but you need one son with you always. So let him be with you. So the thing is, when I had decided from 1975 till then to be close to Swami, to study in Swami's college, and I could not go only because in East Rama High School, they were teaching in Telugu medium. I didn't know Telugu anything. So that's the reason I didn't go. And here my mother is saying, and the Swami is saying, no, let him stay. So I started crying. The whole interview I was crying. So the interview went on for more than half an hour, some 40 minutes. But the whole time I was crying. At the end of the interview, so Swami made there, my crying was basically a prayer, my yearning to join Swami's college. So he basically was testing that, and throughout the interview, I cried. At the end of the interview, Swami said, okay, you can come and join. So that's the time my crying ended. So there, my prayer was basically to join Swami's college, and then at the end, he answered my prayer saying that you can come and join. So that's only is giving permission to join the college. So after that, Swami had basically gone to the Kashmir trip that he made, the famous trip that he made with 18 students he made. So when he had been to Kashmir, so we were basically wanting to spend some time. So we all went to Prashant Nilayam, did see Prashant Nilayam, took part in all the activities there, and then came back to Vrindavan again. So the day Swami was supposed to come, so we were saying that my oldest brother said, some of the devotees go and stay. Most of you who have been to Vrindavan will know that's a railway crossing. So Swami, my brother had said that if we stand that side of the gate, if the train comes and gates close, you might get a chance to see Swami closer. But if you stand this side of the gate, then you can run behind Swami's car and see Swami in the car again. And so if Swami's car stops near the Saram shed, you can have a darshan. But then there's something that told me that if I stand that side of the gate, then I can have if the gate closes, and if I stand that side, then I can have a close proximity to Swami and have a better darshan. So I was only 14 years old that time. So I had decided, my parents and everyone was standing this side. So I had gone that side of the ashram, the gate, and I was waiting there. And as per my prayer, I saw the car coming in a distance. I turned and looked. The gates were closing that time. Fortunately for me, the car came closer and stopped at point. I ran towards the car and went to the side where Swami was sitting. And I was standing outside. Swami could have blessed me from inside, and with the hand gesture, he could have blessed me. But what he did was, he opened the glass, put the glass down, and he asked, hey, Swami college சேர வந்திருக்கல்ல, ஏன் இங்க நிக்கிற? we have come to join Swami's college. Why are you standing here? Swami opened the glass and spoke to me. And as I said, Swami சொன்னீங்க 10th class முடிச்சிட்டு வந்து சேர சொல்லி. So I said, Swami, you asked me to come and join after my 10th class. So that's why I'm here. I said, okay, manchid, santosham. And he put the glass up. And then Swami's car, after that, it left. Then that was an affirmation of his approval for me to join Swami's college. Now, after that, so it's 1980. So I was supposed to join in 80 December. I was supposed to do my 10th class exam and then come and join Swami's college in 81. So during that time, my brother started writing letters to me because in Sri Lanka, all the studies are in Tamil medium or Sinhalese medium. I was in Tamil medium. So the English is a second language. So if anyone asks questions, my answers are very long in one word. They're very long in one word. If someone has a long question, they'll put, I'll say yes. If they ask something, no. That's all I could speak. I was not comfortable speaking. So my longest answer was yes or no. Everything else was in Tamil. So my brothers wrote to me, Arul, here, the entrance exam is in English. The interview is in English. So you better brush up your English. So I was trying to read and study. I was not bookworm or anything. So I was not able to do it at all. So as a child, as 14-year-old boy, after my 50th birthday, after my 10th class exam, I wrote a letter to Swami. Swami, my brothers are asking me to study English well, but the thing is, Swami, this always English medium. I'm not good in English. So I'm coming to your college only to be close to you. So take me into your college without an entrance exam or interview, because both are in English. So that was my prayer. So here I'm talking about prayer, your relationship with God. So out mail and in mail, you're talking, okay? So my prayer is basically, give me a seat in college, your college without entrance exam or interview. It's a thing that I'm asking, which is basic for all the institutions. In Swami's institution, generally, you cannot join without entrance exam or interview. So here I'm doing it. I'm asking Swami to remove the basic stuff. I wrote the letter and I left it there. After that, of course, as usual, as a 15-year-old boy, I never studied anything much. And my brothers kept on writing. And every time I received the letter, I just keep quiet. So once we went to Prashantalam in 81, those days, Swami used to choose the devotees, choose the students himself. So we handed over the Swami's application to college to Swami while Swami was walking around in the interview for the darshan. We hand over to Swami, and Swami subsequently gave an interview. Everything that was all over, and my parents, we all went with the business visa. But because by Swami's grace, my father had known someone in the Indian High Commission in Sri Lanka, and they gave a student visa without any admission itself. They gave student visa, and was the influence basically against Swami only did that. So I had the student visa, but my parents were having business visa, which was supposed to get over. So this was by then, the entrance exam was supposed to take place maybe a week or 2 weeks later. My parents' visa was getting over, so they had to get back. So they told one of the Sri Lankan lady there, one of our aunts, known person, my name was not there on the list, and the interview list had come, and in the interview list also my name was not there. And after that comes the student selection list, and on that list also my name is not there. So now I was not there for the entrance exam, I was not there for the interview, and now I'm not there even for the selected list. So now at that point, sorry, I just keep my camera so that sleeping. Okay. So now the anxiety starts. So my name is not there on the list of students who are selected. That's when I don't know what to do. But because Swami had said that he will give me a seat next year, in 1980 he had told me, so I was not worried about it. So I was just remaining there. But that we got to know suddenly that Swami is going to go to Vrindavan. So the question is, what will I do that time? And my aunt says, so Swami is going to Vrindavan. If he goes to Vrindavan, I'm also going to Vrindavan. So you have to find some other way to you spend your. And then asked my brothers. So Swami is going to Vrindavan, means what will happen? Then he said, my brother said, don't worry, Swami knows what is best. So then that time a group of students had come and were staying with, came to perform a drama and also attend a Guru Bala Vikas conference. So because of that, the devotees were planning to go on the following day back to Sri Lanka. So they were asking Swami to give prasadam, an interview. So Swami said, all of you, all the Sri Lankan devotees, to sit near the garage on the gents and ladies on the other side, so that he could give prasadam and vibhuti, with prasadam and namaskar to all the devotees. So Swami said, all of them to come and sit there. So then when all the Sri Lankan devotees had gone there, though I had come to join Swami's college, now my concern was, now this is if Swami is going to Vrindavan after the bhajan, this is the last chance I have to get to talk to Swami. So then what happened? I also went and sat there as the last person on the gent side near the garage. So Swami came before the bhajan. Swami came and Swami was giving Paranaskaram and taking letters from all the Sri Lankan devotees. There's a special line there. And then when he came near me, he asked, hey, in college I was sitting here. Dunnapata. And so we have come to join Swami's college. Why are you sitting here? Buffalo. And the buffalo is a word that Swami uses so lovingly that even if you call anything with that love, we really will be pleased. I will be happy. So, and Swami gave me Vibhuti Prasadam and walked away. And after the bhajan takes place, and even at that time, when Swami talked this, so Swami didn't give permission to join Swami's college. Swami didn't say you are admitted. Swami just said that you come to join Swami's college. You are sitting here. And he walks away. And the bhajan takes place till my name is not there on the list. So I'm just standing there. After the bhajan, Swami comes and waves the hand everyone, and then gets into the car, and his car is going. I'm sitting there and praying to Swami, and Swami's car goes. Swami does this and then walks. The car moves away. I'm standing there at the sand after that, and my brothers were basically sitting on the portico. They walked towards me. And my brother Arul, who would have already spoken to you all, said, pack your bags. I said, what do you mean by pack your bags? What am I supposed to do? Pack your bags, we'll see what we can do later. I said, tell me, and the aunt is going to leave to go to Vrindavan. Now you're saying pack your bags. I'm supposed to go to Vrindavan? What exactly? No, Swami has told the warden to come to take you into the hostel. So Swami has told me Dunnapata and has gone inside and told the warden to take me into the hostel. So by then I don't have college seat or got the admission to join Swami's college. So I packed my bags and had lunch in the canteen and went to the hostel. And there I go and sit there and then ask, what is it? What to do next? So my brother Arul had gone to the school next day and met the principal and said, sir, I've come to talk to you about my brother's admission. Then he said, he had told my brother, oh, the admission is all done and all the students are selected. If your brother's name is not there on that list, then he has no seat. Then my brother said, but Swami had told that he will get a seat. Yeah, but Swami might have told, but the thing is, entrance exam is over, interview is over, and list is out. So that's also Swami only selected. So your brother's name is not there. So then he doesn't have seat. But anyway, where is he staying? Swami is going to Vrindavan. Where is he staying? He's staying in the hostel, sir. How did he join the hostel? Swami told him told the warden to take him to the hostel. Oh, Swami told that. Oh, then he has a seat, and he had given the forms, the admission form, and he told my brother to fill up the form, and I got the seat. So here, my prayer was to take me to Swami's college without entrance exam, without interview. And that was my simple prayer. And Swami did that to me. And his grace was, so I only asked with ownership, the basing on the keeping the relationship with God. I asked him innocently, whether that was possible or not is a different question. But for God, everything is possible. And then Swami is trying to please me by giving me the seat. Then Swami was in Vrindavan, and he comes back after that first day. So that's the first chance to be on the portico. While sitting in the devotees area, I had studied and analyzed where will Swami walk frequently so that I can be close to Swami. I had studied by that then. So I sat in a place where Swami will surely pass that way. So as Swami comes, I look at Swami. Swami comes and asks me, "Are you happy?" I said, "Yes, Swami." And that was the first dialogue with Swami telling me, speaking to me as a student. So before that, when I was a 3.5-year-old boy, Swami granted the interview. Swami, after caressing my knees, when he had gone inside, Swami asked, "Papa un peru, child, what's your name?" So at that time I was not, I was looking at Swami's hair, and I didn't know what that Swami had asked. My father only told me later that Swami had asked. I didn't answer that question when unanswered. But then I always think, my name is Arul Selvanathan. Arul means God's grace. Selva means wealth. Nathan means one who has it. So that time, till recently, I always thought that Swami was asking my name just to create a conversation. But Swami basically reminded me, your name is Arul Selvanathan, wealth of grace, the one who has wealth of grace. Do you realize it? That's what basically. So from then onwards, my life is actually full of God's grace. So always, inbox is always full. So this is the way Swami answered my prayer. So that's why I say the prayer is basically thanking God, or it could be asking God. It doesn't matter. It all depends on the relationship with God. So there's another thing I would like to say. Now, then what is all the mantras that we chant, the yagnas that we perform, and then the seva that we do? We are trying to please God in the way that we know. They are ritual. Some of them basically, Swami has said, yagnas are held in order to, when we look at God as nature, we are supposed to do that. Because there's a fire, there are 5 elements, Panchabhutas. So the fire is an element of God, and we are basically offering everything to God in the form of fire. The reason is because God did not exist in physical or human form throughout the creation. He came, it takes a form and comes as avatar. During that time, fortunately, some devotees have had the privilege to be close to him. We are lucky. But the thing is, the people who did not, between Rama Avatara and Krishna Avatara, there was a gap. When Krishna Avatara and Shirdi Avatara, there was a gap. So during these times, the devotees wanted to convey to God, thank God. And so that's the time that basically they did yagas. What is the reason? Because they offered it to God in the form of fire, sacrificial fire. And then their mantras were created by sages and saints because they were able to offer their gratitude to God through that form. The Swami says, Gayatri mantra is the best prayer. Why? Because there's a varnana, basically there's a description of God, and then there's request, and there's prayer. All are there in that mantra. So that's why Swami says Gayatri mantra has to be done. And Swami also says that when we want something, God's grace, we have to offer something to God and ask in return. So there's something that I would like to talk here about another experience I had. So after joining Swami's college, Swami was my art teacher. So because I am Swami calls me a Sri Lankan artist, Sri Lanka Vadu artist, Swami, that's the way Swami refers to me. And during our first convocation, the stage was being arranged of the university in 1982, I think, if I remember the year right. So when the stage was being arranged, Swami wanted the stage to have a podium with the college emblem on that. So there was one podium was set on the male's gents side. So there was Raj Mata also there. So Swami had told that there should be another podium set up on the ladies' side also. So then only the stage will look symmetrical. So Swami had told that. So they brought a podium and kept there. This was 2 days before the convocation, on 20th. And then they kept it. So the podium on the gents side had the college emblem, but the podium on the ladies' side did not have a college emblem in front. So Swami had told them that they got to get a college emblem put there. So the moment they contacted the Bangalore the company who had made the emblem, they had said that the staff who was basically supposed to be doing is sick, and also they were closed for the weekend. So therefore, they don't have anyone to make that. So therefore, they cannot make the emblem. So these all opportunities created by God for the devotee to do the offering. Okay. So when that happened, so they had gone back and told Swami, the Bangalore people are saying that they cannot make it in 2 days' time, and therefore we need more. We cannot get it before the convocation. So then Swami had told the registrar, there's a Sri Lankan artist there in the hostel, ask him to do it. So then warden calls me on that evening. So Swami had told that just before the darshan, we all go to the darshan around 4 o'clock. When the registrar had gone to meet, Swami had told him. So then Swami sends a word, gives a call. Call comes, the registrar tells the warden. They come and call me to the office and say, Arul, you have to make the college emblem for the other podium, and it has to look exactly like the other one that there. You have to do it. So where can I get the material to do? Then he said, after the darshan, go and see the Purnachandra auditorium, see the emblem, and then ask Chiranjeevi Rao or Kudumpara what exactly they have and get it. I said, okay. And after darshan, I go there to the Purnachandra auditorium, and then I see everything and then I take some paper and try to trace exactly to get the same size and everything. I go to Chiranjeevi Rao, sir, and he takes me and gives the material, that because I think that was in red color and the white color writing, a red color background. So I tried to get a velvet paper. That's the closest that I have is velvet paper, a red color velvet paper. And so he asked, what am I going to do for the writing? Then again, Swami only gives idea, regiform, or to call it, some people call it thermocol or regiform packing material. So I asked him, we have that? Then he says yes. So I take that and come to the hostel. So this was on 20th. So then 20th evening. So they got to have it by next day morning. They got to have it because they had to put it and show it to Swami, so that Swami has to approve it. So then what happens? I say, okay, fine. I'll keep it ready. So I start work after dinner around 9 p.m. So I don't have I'm not an artist by profession. I didn't learn from anyone. It's basically he has blessed me. So I don't have the materials. Now I have the regiform, I have the paper, I have scissors to cut, but they cut the regiform, it was 3-dimensional size because there's a plastic letters were there. So to cut that, I need to have tools to cut that. So I don't have any tools. So what I get an idea, again Swami gives idea. I take the shaving razor, has the 2 blades, the small blades. So I break one of them and take the 2 blades there. I use that as my material. So I start at 9 p.m. By around 4 a.m., I had completed. I'm a 15-year-old boy. By then I was 16-year-old student. And I made everything. And next day, I went and slept for 3 hours. At 7 o'clock, I got up and got ready and then went to Mandir and went and pasted there in front of the rostrum. And standing there. So this is basically in 1972, the first convocation I was talking about, okay? So 1982, first convocation. So I go and stand there, and after darshan, Swami is coming to the Purpurneshwar auditorium. The moment he comes and he goes down and gets off the stage and goes and stand where the public sits, and there he's standing there looking at the rostrum, the full stage, and he's happy with it, and he comes back. That time I was standing next to the podium because Swami had instructed me to do that, and then I'm standing there to get the approval that is okay. So registrar, so the Chakravarti sir was the registrar that time, so he's coming with Swami, and he comes there. As Swami was walking near, and he said, Chakravarti sir said, Swami, he's the one who made the emblem. Is it okay? Swami said, Manchidi. So then he said, Vaadi chestadu. So he did it. Swami said, Vaadi anni chestadu. So when he said that, it means basically he will do everything. So we can't understand what he means by that. So when he said that, I took it as, okay, he can do everything. I took it as a blessing. Sarah, are you able to hear?
Yes, all good.
Okay. Your video was lost, so I thought.
No, all good.
No.
Okay. So, Swami said, Vaadi anni chestadu. So that's a blessing. Since then, I had never ventured into learning anything. But Brother Hariharan introduced us. He can play harmonium, he can sing, but I did everything without any learning. I don't know how I'm playing harmonium. I don't know really. But if I close my eyes, I'm able to play. Swami said just one word, Vaadi anni chestadu. And with that, he's basically blessed me to do everything. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. But the thing is, it's all because of Swami's grace. So my prayer was basically what I did on this emblem. Basically, what I'm trying to say here, the concept of that is when I did something to please him, God gave me an opportunity to make an offering to him. So I offered making the emblem on that. Just imagine a 16-year-old boy cutting with the blade. I got so many cuts on my finger because the blade was so sharp. Things while cutting it. So without any tools, I was doing it. So when I was doing it, basically that was an outbox. That was an outgoing call because it's an offering to Swami because I was trying to please Swami. And then he gives a pleasing one is Vaadi anni chestadu. Is a blessing. So Swami said, Sai Vachanam Satyam. Whatever he says will happen. So that's what has happened basically is Swami blessed me that way. And then I would like to mention another one. So again, prayer and grace. In 1985, Swami's 60th birthday. So because Swami called me as an artist, I was getting involved in only artwork there in the hostel. I did not attempt to join a bhajan group. Of course, bhajan group also devotees, the students also got a lot of chances from Swami. But I concentrated, because Swami called me a Sri Lanka artist, I always focused on doing artwork. When Swami's 60th birthday came, there were some boys were selected for drama, some boys got selected for the band group, and some bhajan boys were selected for music program. And as an artist, I did not have much chance. So before the 60th birthday, Swami was giving the cloth material to stitch safari clothes to the band boys and to stitch band costume. And Swami was giving material to the bhajan group boys for the music program. And for the drama boys also, Swami was giving. So I saw that during sitting on the darshan line, Swami is doing all that. Then as a child, I was saying, Swami is giving to everyone. I'm not in any of this group. I'm not getting anything. So after the bhajan, you all know where Swami's mandir is and where the hostel is. There's a 15-minute walk there. So I came out of the bhajan, the mandir, and I was walking to the hostel. At that time, inside me, I was thinking, so if I had been in the bhajan group, And you had sung, I could sing that time, but one thing is, I never attempted to uh, and try to become a singer there in the mandir. So uh, if I had joined the bhajan group, then I would have had a chance to sing there. I would have got the safari material from Swami. Or if I had joined the band group, I would have got that material. But here, because I'm in the art group, Swami couldn't give me. Anyway, I'm missing a chance to get something from Swami. It was just a thought. I won't call it a prayer. I wish Swami, I was just saying, it's a wish basically. I said, what if Swami could give me something like that? And I just wished, and then walking towards the hostel. And then as I was walking there, I saw people moving around. So that means Swami was coming in the car on the road to go to Gokulam side, because those days before the birthday program, Swami used to walk around everywhere and see everything intact. He used to go to the stadium and all that. So Swami's car was passing, and I looked at Swami and just prayed, and Swami's car went away to the Gokulam side. And by then I had reached the hostel, and I was standing in front of the hostel, so and a little away from the gate, and Swami's car passes me and goes and stops in front of the hostel. And Swami was talking to someone. I think Swami was talking to the warden, I thought. And then Swami's car moved. So, and then after that, I was just walking inside the hostel. That time at the entrance, someone comes and calls, "Hey, Arul, warden is calling you." So I go into the office room. He closes the door and says, "Arul, the Swami wants to have an exhibition in our college prayer hall." That's basically in Prashantini, so in Vrindavan, there's an exhibition I had set up there. And that all the materials, art materials, the exhibition material is being brought to our college auditorium, and then it's going to be displayed in the prayer hall. So Swami wants you and Narayan Sharma, another artist who was there, for both of you to go and touch up the art pieces wherever it's damaged. So all the damages had to be corrected before the exhibition starts. Exhibition was supposed to start in 3 or 4 days' time. See, that was decided just then. Until then, it was not decided. So then warden tells me that, and Swami has wanted me and Narayan Sharma to do that. So Swami had chosen the 2 artists also to do that. So I go in. So there's Swami gives an opportunity for me to do an offering to him. So I go and do that. After that session, I go and touch up everything. We did for 2 days. And the 3rd day, again, we go to finalize everything after bhajan. And we were there. And then suddenly the registrar comes, Ravi Chakravarti comes there and says, "Hey, here, Swami is going to come. So make sure that everything is okay and finalize everything." We say, "Okay." And then we were there, and Swami comes and checks everything, goes around the whole exhibition, and comes at the entrance and says, "Manchidi is good." And then he turns this way, and Radha Krishna was the driver that time. He used to drive the car, and he goes out of the building, and Swami is standing there and talking to Karunyananda and others. And then Radha Krishna comes back, and then Swami gives a hand to Radha Krishna and takes 2 bags in his hand and gives one to me and one to the Narayan Sharma, the other artist. And then Swami gives it. I just pray with praying hands. But I think by then I know the bag that he gave is basically, Swami used to give stitching material for safari material in the bag. Swami gives, and then I take it and take Swami's namaskar. And then Swami goes to the car and goes away. And then I open the bag and see, yes, as the safari material is there, with it there's an envelope. If I open the envelope, I see 100 rupees for stitching charges. So see here, I'm trying to please him by doing something. And when I say, "Oh, my relationship with Swami is just casually telling," it's not that I'm not scolding him. Swami, if I was there in Bhajan group, I would have done it. If I was in the band group, I would have got it. So it's a communication. That's all I'm doing. And then he responds in a way that he answers the prayer. So he is trying to please me by giving it. So that's why I always say prayer and grace are basically 2 ways of communication. That's all, nothing more. But Swami is, what's the time now? And let me, do I have enough?
We have half an hour. We have half an hour.
Okay. So then, so that's why I always say that the prayer you can do, pray to God, asking anything, anytime, and there's nothing called material and spiritual. So one Swami, someone had asked Swami, we shouldn't ask you for anything material. So Swami, what is material? Swami, anything worldly. So Swami had asked them, the devotee, are you existing in this world in the physical form, body, or you are in this world in a spirit form? Then they had said, Swami, we are in this body, the spirit is in this body, and we are here. So if you want to ask anything for the spirit, it is spiritual. And if you ask anything for this body in this form, is worldly. So did you come into this world by your choice? You came into this world by your karma. So as long as you're in the world, if you need any help, you can ask me and I will give you, I'll help you. That is worldly. So therefore, don't differentiate what is spiritual and what's worldly, because God is there to take care of you in the worldly body form or mind form or spiritual spirit form. So anything that is basically we asking for the spirit is spiritual, but anything we ask for this existence in this world in the body form is worldly. So Swami said nothing wrong in asking for worldly. The only thing is when we ask something, or if the neighbor is having a Lexus car, he's having a Mercedes car, I also would like to have an Audi car or something like that. Then what happens basically, that is greed. Because when the desire gets attached to the body and the desire comes in order to present ourselves in a particular way, that becomes a greed. So God doesn't respond to greedy prayers, but God responds to needy prayers. So only as long as it's need, it's a real prayer. But when it doesn't, it goes beyond the need, it becomes greed. Okay, so when grace and greed, both of them start with GR. And the difference between greed and need is only GR and N. Okay, so grace is not meant for greed. Grace is meant only for need. So God will give you everything that you need, but that's it. Grace is there for need, and grace is not there for greed. Okay, so basically that's the difference between prayer and grace. So now I would like to mention here, in this time of Corona, we all are basically, the whole world is spending millions of dollars and billions of dollars in order to get a vaccine. What is a vaccine? Vaccine is a protection. Vaccine is a protection that will protect you even if you get the virus in you. We'll say we're going to a place and we get infected. If you get infected, you will fall sick. And if you fall sick, we don't know what will happen. That's the question. So the vaccine, if you take the vaccine, is going to protect you from the body from illness, even if the virus has infected the individual. So basically, it's a protection. But why should we wait for that protection, a vaccine protection, when Swami has given us the vaccine? So you might ask a question, what is the vaccine Swami has given? It's the Gayatri Mantra. If you all search on the Google and Swami Satya Sai Baba teaching Gayatri Mantra, you will get a video clip of Swami teaching one of the students, one of the boy teaching Gayatri Mantra word by word. There, Swami says, at the end, he says, the one who chants the Gayatri Mantra, wherever you are, Gayatri Devi will be there and will protect you. The last word that he says is a protection. So this is the Gayatri Mantra is the only thing that Swami has given to the whole world as protection. That's a vaccine. Why I call it vaccine? Because in my life, there are so many incidents that have happened. Just by chanting Gayatri Mantra. I've been protected in so many ways. So in the Gayatri Mantra, it's the only mantra that Swami has, in a discourse, Swami has taught everyone and made the devotees repeat. There are Gayatri Mantra for each deity. The Durga Gayatri, the Ganesha Gayatri, and even Sai Gayatri is there. But Swami has never spoken about any other Gayatri. Swami has spoken about only one Gayatri Mantra, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, in a discourse and taught the devotees. And he has stressed the power of the Gayatri Mantra again and again in so many discourses. And that's the only mantra he openly discoursed to devotees. That's why I call that mantra as a protection, because that's the only mantra that Swami has, the students, when the Brahmins do the Punal, they are basically, the Guru is teaching that mantra student, and they are supposed to chant. The same with this Upadesham, basically given by Swami only for Gayatri Mantra. There are other mantras, God's name, Sai Ram and everything. Swami has approved it, and Swami has given to different devotees individually, but openly to all the devotees of Sai devotees, Swami has taught only Gayatri Mantra. So even when I was studying there, Swami has talked so much about Gayatri Mantra, but after coming out of the institution, only when I saw that the interview, Swami is teaching the Gayatri Mantra, that is the time I realized the value of the Gayatri Mantra Swami is stressing. After that, I have heard so many discourses of Swamis about the Gayatri Mantra, and that I got to know about that. But since I got to know the power of the Gayatri Mantra, I started chanting always. From the time I bought the car, it was my wife is also an Anantapur student. So from her, after getting married, and when we started driving a vehicle, because driving a vehicle is always, my father-in-law always says, that's a tukumada, it's a hanging table where people go and stand there, don't know who will come and hit you. Even if you do everything right, don't know what will happen to you anytime. Therefore, we are supposed to pray and take the vehicle, but that's the reason we always do the prayer. And my wife was another student, and she has heard about the Gayatri Mantra power from her warden, Jayama Madam, about the power, because Jayama Madam was again the fortunate soul to be close to Swami. So she has heard. So we always chant the Gayatri Mantra before we get into the vehicle. Once we start the vehicle, we pray, and then only we start the journey. So I have been always chanting Gayatri Mantra. So on the highway in Canada, basically it's 100 kilometer speed limit, but generally we exceed the speed limit and we drive. And I was in my job is basically in a particular place where I had to drive 55 kilometers in the morning and 55 kilometers in the evening. So basically I'm doing 10 kilometers.
1 minute. For the notice of other people, Arul Selvanathan takes the car, reverse is 100 kilometers, forward is double than that I have experienced in Canada.
Actually, so Haryan has experienced that, because when he had come and been here from Hamilton he was supposed to give a program at our center, and we were in Hamilton in a place where it was 2 hours drive from there to come to our center, and 5 o'clock was the program, and we were there at 3 o'clock there, and some delay took place, and as a result, we left the house at 3:30 or 3:45, something like that. It was only short time, so I had to speed up that time, and yes, so I always say, Swami, when younger days, when Swami was driving, he used to drive fast. So I say, Swami, you drove fast, so I'm also going to drive fast so that I can take Haryana to the place on time, and therefore I'm going to drive fast. You take care of me, and I do that. So when I pray to Swami and do that, because once you do the prayer, he is there with you. That's a relationship. You should not ask God to too much also at the same time. But the thing is, here is a time of need. So Swami, somehow that need has come, it has become a need. So when the need comes, Swami, I would like to take Haryana to the place. So therefore I pray to Swami and then drive. So Haryana was not, the others were not seeing the speed, but someday when the moment they see the speed limit, they say, Arul, what are you doing? I say, Swami will take care, and I drive. That's all. So what happens is in everyday morning workplace, so I had to drive 1 hour, and because of distance, we take 12 route. The 12 route, we have to pay some money to drive to the on that highway. So we do carpooling. So we take 3 or 4 people, get in the car, and so we share the expenses of the 12 expenses. So I don't like to be on the driver's seat or the back behind because I have motion sickness. So I always take the driver's seat. So I've been driving, and so we take early morning. I get up at 5 o'clock and then start driving around 6:30, and we are there at the office by 7:15. In 40 minutes I drive. So when you go, sometimes you feel sleepy because the thing is, if you're going on one straight road, I will feel sleepy when there are so many people in the car. So I always pray to Swami. I chant the Gayatri mantra, and Swami take care of everything. So sometimes I find that the car will be going and then suddenly push to a side. So here I know that when the car gets moved, I have not turned the steering wheel. It gets moved, then I turn and bring it back again to the lane. It gets pushed. So it has happened frequent once. Once what happened, when it happened, I was driving and going this side, and then to realize my car was pushed again. And again, when it goes there, it's a curb there. I'm going outside the lane. But why? Because there was another big truck was passing me at either higher speed, and that if you remain close to the truck, when you are going higher speed, your car will get pulled towards that. So that time, Swami was pushing my car again and again to the other opposite side, so that when the truck passes me, the car won't get pulled in, because there are so many people, there are 3 more people in the car. So this is the way Swami takes care of you, even when you're not conscious. But I think the Swami says, if you chant Gayatri mantra, if you do the prayer, he is there to protect. So Swami says, Gayatri mantra protects on its own. He is basically, Swami says, his grace is there everywhere, and he can protect anyone and everyone everywhere. And this is, I'm just telling you, this is an incident, but this should not happen to anyone. Sometimes I feel sleepy. So when you're driving, so basically you're going early, getting up early morning, 5 o'clock, doing everything, you're going to office, working, and even if you're coming back, so sometimes you feel sleepy. So it has happened so many times that sometimes I will open my eyes, and say, oh, I was sleeping all this time. How did the car go? Nothing has happened. No accident has happened. How did that happen? So these are all just small incidents. Only thing is, we got to be aware. You've got to become aware that everything that happens to you, the grace of God is there with you. As long as you're conscious of it, that's all God needs. And when you think that, oh, by Swami's grace, I was there. What is it that thought is the thanking of God? Swami doesn't want us to go and fall at his feet. He's not demanding you to fall at his feet. Or it's like some people will say that, oh, surrender. Why does Swami? God is very arrogant. He wants everyone to fall at his feet. Only then he will shower his grace. No, it is this word surrender doesn't mean that falling at his feet. Surrender means basically relying on God's protection. Swami Pathukuluvaru. Swami is taking care of everything. That feeling that he is doing everything for us, that is the most important thing. That is the payment of gratitude. That is the prayer that basically Swami God expects. There's nothing, we don't have to go and say, Swami, you are the one who protected me. Thank you very much, Swami. Without you, what will I do? Swami doesn't expect those words. Swami says, that will basically create a distance. Swami says, God is waiting to build relationship with the devotee. The moment you realize that he is with you and is taking care of everything with you, of yours, he is there to protect you. So here I would like to mention another experience of not mine, of another student, which will basically strengthen what, because Swami says, Swami has told, when you pray, you got to offer something to God. So you might ask a question, why should you offer? So the Swami says, Patram, Pushpam, Palam, Toyam. Swami says, Patram is leaf, Pushpam is flower, Palam is fruit, Toyam is water. So these four things. Nowadays in this world, we are supposed to go and buy everything. Even water we are supposed to buy. But Swami doesn't expect us to do that. Swami says, Patram, leaf. When you're walking on the street, you can pluck a leaf from the tree and offer that. The least expensive, without any cost, you can pluck a leaf from any tree and offer that. That's why Tulasi leaf is basically offered to Krishna. So you can offer the leaf. Pushpam, on a tree you can pluck a flower and offer it. And Palam, you can pluck a fruit from a tree and offer it. Or if you don't have any of this, Toyam, you can offer water. And Swami says, if you don't have any of that, Patram is the body. There is a leaf. Pushpam is a flower, is a heart, is a pushpam. Palam is a fruit of your actions. And Toyam is a water of tears. Swami said that tears also is not in crying or in sorrow. Tears, basically, Swami talks about is basically tears of joy, tears of gratitude. When Swami does something, when you are saved from difficulty, basically when you think of that, tears will come from your eyes. So when you pray, if you pray with that gratitude in you, and you don't have to say anything, that gratitude and the tears that roll from your eyes, offer that to Swami. Swami, the tears that are rolling is offering to you. That itself is enough. And then some people come and say, why should we offer something to Swami? Why should we offer to why did that create offer Patram Pushpam Palam Toy? Why should we have to make? Swami said, grace is like a bank balance. We have a lot of savings in the bank. It's your money for sure. No one can deny that. But if you go and stand in front of the bank, will the bank give you the money? No. It will say the night bank is closed. If you go and stand, it's my money, give me my money, will it give? No, it won't give. Even the daytime, you go to the bank and stand in front of the bank, give the money, will it give? No. If you go and ask the branch manager, give the money, my money is there, give me, he won't. He will ask for a withdrawal slip, a request to withdraw, a paper slip to fill up and give request, check, leave to request money. Or now ATM machine, you're putting the ATM card there, putting the password and typing there, I want request, I want $300 or I want 300 rupees or 1,000 rupees. We are making a request. So how much of money is there in the bank balance? As in the bank, we have to make a request to go. In the same way, Swami said, he is governed by the divine law. He's governed by the divine law. Divine law is you got to make a request and God will give you. So some people say, oh, some people fall sick or some people go through calamity and they say, oh, God has given me that. No, God has not given you that. It's a karma. It's a karma that you are going through a bad period. Because everyone is born with a garland of karma. And every good deed has a good deed and every bad deed has a bad deed. And some people think, oh, it's a bank balance, good bank balance and bank balance. Why can't you net it up and give me whatever is equal? No, Swami says, no, it doesn't happen that way. Every good deed has a good deed. Because it's a seed. Karma is a seed. So every seed is a separate one. And every good deed has a good deed, good seed, and every bad deed has a bad seed. So that is the one that's imagine it's a nuts, okay, some almonds or something is basically garland. So each actress is basically a garland. So you're born with the number of garlands. So only thing is, we'll say that you have done more good deeds because there are more good deeds. Because you have done less bad deeds, you have got less bad deeds. So, but I think if a person has done more bad deeds in the previous karma, in the previous birth, it's not specific to one period, one birth. It can be many births. So, if you have done bad deeds, many births, many bad deeds, so you have lots of more bad deeds. So, as a result of that, you are born. Yes, you are in this life, you might be suffering more bad occurrences in your life. So you are born, whatever happens to you is basically is your karma. But when God's there, how will you know that it is good things are happening? Good things are happening when God's grace comes there. So I would like to give an example here. So I told you about the long drive I do, Gayatri Mantra protection. I talked about. So during recently, 2 years back, I was driving on the highway, and I met with an accident, on the highway accident. But I just got out of the car without anything, no scratch. The police vehicle came and stopped there and asked, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm okay." "Do you have to go to the hospital?" I said, "No," because if I had to go to the hospital, helicopter had to come because there's a traffic jam behind me. So, so there was no requirement. I just smiled and said, "I'm okay." "But you're looking okay, but you may have some injury." I said, "No, I'm smiling, and I'm smiling at you. I'm able to smile at you." I told the police officer, "I'm able to smile at you only because I'm fine. So don't call the ambulance. No need. I'm okay." So this happened on the highway. So after that, I went and checked with an astrologer why this happened. So he said, "I'm going Arul." And Arul means everyone knows certain period is very really bad. He said that astrologer said, "You might go to courts, you might go to may meet accidents, you might fall sick, you might have to go to hospital. All these things can happen to you when this election is happening. So you are supposed to go through this period." So I didn't tell him what happened. He told me. But then I had to go through that bad period. But what happens? Because of God's grace, I was saved. Nothing happened to me. The car was basically, I had to incur a lot of expenses. So I go to the insurance company. The insurance company would have told, the thing is, because the truck driver told the police officer that I cut in, therefore he didn't see the vehicle and he hit it, so therefore it's my fault. So the police officer also wrote that based on the stories narrated by each individual, I'm at fault. So, but I told the police officer, "I'm not going to accept this. I'm going to fight back this ticket." So, as a result of that, I had to go to courts. So, bad because of my bad period. So maybe I had sent someone to police station, or I had sent someone to the courts by previous births. As a result, I had to go to the courts this time. So I might have made someone to meet with an accident in the previous birth. So I had to, because of my reckless driving, I might have done it. We don't know. So as a result, I am supposed to meet with an accident. So I meet with an accident. I'm saved there. Then I go to courts. The truck driver doesn't come to the courts, and the police officer doesn't come to the courts. So the case is dismissed there. So I had to pay any fine. So, but I did not pay any fine, but I had to go to courts. As per the karma, I had to go there. But because of God's grace, that it was cleared. So don't think that this coronavirus is sent by God. Please. Some people say, "Oh, Swami has said, why is Swami doing, why is God is doing this? Why is this virus is spread by God?" No, he didn't do it. It is not sent by him. He is only protecting his devotees. There are millions of people in this world who are devoted to God. He may be not devoted to this form, but they are devoted to God. So they might have got infected. There are so many thousands of people who have got come out of it. I don't think death is not a bad thing. Death is in Swami's words, death is an incident happens in the life of the spirit. Spirit has a long journey. It's one of the cloth that he has worn, and so only thing the people who are dependent on that individual suffers. Because why? That person could be a breadwinner, and the family is without an income. So the people who are dependent on him are suffering now, because in the previous births they might have caused something for other people to lose money. As a result, they might have suffered. So when we had made someone else to suffer in another birth, now we have to suffer in this birth. So whatever suffering happens in this life is basically our karma. But at the same time, can this be overcome by God's grace? In a time, yeah, 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yeah?
5 minutes.
Okay. So I would have narrated an incident where once in the hostel, Swami had gone to the hostel early morning and gone and asked for a boy, a student's name. So the boys ran to the room to find he's not there, he is in the washroom. Then they come back and tell Swami, he's in the washroom. Swami rushes there. Immediately he walks and goes there to the in front of the washroom. Where is he? So they knock the bathroom door and say, can you come out quickly? The boy says, I'm in the middle of the bathroom. How can I come out? Give me a time. Then they say, Swami is waiting for you. Come. Okay, I'll come quickly. Then they say, Swami is waiting outside the bathroom here in front of the bathroom. Can you come out quickly? Then immediately the boy puts a towel and then opens the door. Then he comes out with the hand. Swami asks, what do you have with you? And he has only soap case with soap. Swami takes it and then goes away. Swami takes a soap case from the boy's hand and he walks away. Everyone is wondering, why? What this Swami came and walks to the car and goes away. And the Prashant goes to Mandir, fine. In the evening, after everything, that boy gives a call to the mother as usual. So mother is in Bombay or something. And then when the mother says, then mother says, today Swami saved me from a danger. That boy says, that mother says. What happened? Then Swami says, she says, I was near a gas stove that bursted, but I felt that someone pulled me out of that gas stove and I got saved by Swami. That's all the mother says. The following day morning, Sunday morning, they go for darshan and Swami go past that boy and asks. Swami tells the boy, hey, your mother was in danger yesterday. Okay? And if you had offered me a prayer sometime back, asking to be protected, then I could have protected her without anything. But you did not offer me any prayer. But your mother needed you, and you needed your mother. And because mother had prayed something back for life, but the thing is, the karma, your karmic effect, you're supposed to lose your mother, but because you did not do prayer and because you needed, I know that you needed, and I needed something from you. So I came to you, and because in the bathroom, you're not praying to, you did not pray to me. So I had to come and take something from you for me to give life to your mother. So because of that, Swami goes and takes the soap case and gives back life of. So Swami said, I had to come and take the soap case from your hand. I had to take something from you in order to give something else. So because I'm governed by the divine law. So that's the reason we are supposed to make an offering. Offering what? Patram, Pushpam, Palam, Toyam. If you don't have anything, offer your body. Say that, Swami, I'll do any service to you. So that's why Swami says, service, don't do it as a help to the people. Nowadays, in the Corona time, the people say, oh, I did that, I did serve 20 people. I funded the country. No, all this funding, all this service activity, think of it as an investment. Why? Because the more you give, God will give you back. But when you give also, don't think that you are helping and don't expect a thank from that individual. Why? Because if you are expecting something from that individual, that means you are basically doing to that individual only. But if you are doing anything without, because Swami said, if you service to mankind is service to God. If you serve the mankind, it will please him. So that you are supposed to be worried only about the relationship that you have with God. As long as you are concerned only about that relationship and do any activity, it becomes an offering to God. So in Corona, there are people who are basically without money to buy food or to cook food. If you are contributing, think that you are doing it because Swami has said, if you serve some people, unknown people, God will bless. God will give in return. If you keep that in mind and offer it, and the service becomes a prayer. So I always consider service as only prayer. But if you don't consider it as a service, as a prayer, it becomes an act of that you are giving to that individual, and that individual thank you, and you're expecting that person to thank you or known to others. So then what happens? You lose the ability to get God's grace. So whenever you do service activity or any activity, you would make a donation. Think that, Swami, I'm making this so that you will be pleased with me. If you do with that, that becomes an offering, that becomes a prayer, and that God's grace comes to you all automatically. Then I can talk to you about surrender. I can talk. I have so many other experiences. My personal life, I didn't have time, because the thing is, Swami says, when you're talking, giving a talk to devotees, with sharing experiences, on 27th of November, 1988, once I had finished my studies, 3 days after the convocation, Swami calls me and gives me a Vibhuti Prasadam and says, you go, wherever you go and serve your parents, and wherever you go, join a Sai organization and share what you have learned. And there's another experience I have. Basically, Swami gave a pendant to us saying protection. At that time, Swami told the devotees there, I'm giving this protection to the Sri Lankan boy, because the reason is, they are supposed, if they go to Sri Lanka, they'll kill and they'll die. I don't want my students to die, because they had to go and share what they have learned from. It will go, whatever they learned will go waste. So Swami has told me to share my experiences that time as a protection it is given. And he told me on 27th of November, after my convocation, 27th of November 1988, Swami said, join a Sai organization and share what you have learned. I'm not here to share experiences. I'm here to share what I have learned from Swami. So that's the reason I'm narrating every experience. Actually, I have narrated only 0.1%, 1% of my experiences with Swami. There are thousands of experiences in my life. This is how Swami saved me from illness. So you're talking about coronavirus. What are the symptoms? Cough, difficulty in breathing, fluid in lungs, all these issues. I have had that 2 years back. I can narrate all that. I can, when Swami wills, and if that has to be narrated, if that has to be shared with some of the devotees, then Swami will give me another opportunity to, and when he gives, wherever he gives, I'll speak about that. And with that, a few words, I just thank Swami again. I shouldn't thank Swami because he gives an opportunity. And the thing is, if I thank him, I'm distancing Swami. I hope I have done justice to the opportunity that Swami has given me. With that word, I say Sairam to you all.
Sairam. Anna, go ahead. I think definitely surrender is a topic that will have to be covered, and we hope that we will have one more satsang. And the Govind series is not going to, COVID will go away, but Govind series will not go away anywhere. So the Govind series is going to continue. It is our strength. If anyone has, before Haryana says a few words, if anyone has any questions, yeah, Brother Bhuvan, yes, you have something to say? Yes.
Sairam, Brother Arul, my name is Bhuvaneswaran, remember me?
Oh, Bhuvaneswaran, Sairam, Brother.
I was with you in the interview that 1980, and I came to that Swami's blessing at the before railway station.
Yes.
Yes. So I was with you for the blessing.
Crossing the railway crossing and standing there. It was me and Bhuvaneswaran basically we were standing there. And that's the time. So he's a witness to that. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, very nice talk. I want to tell you this, the picture behind you, it is drawn by you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. See, that's why I wanted to just thank you, because I had that one very long time back. So I want to just remind you. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Nice of talking to you.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you.
Why don't you take the picture in front and share it with everybody? It's the kind of light it's so real. It's so real. You can see Swami, you can feel Swami. The intricacies, my gosh, it's beautiful.
It was falling down. Swami wanted him to show it at that time itself.
He said that I am there above you, around you. Wonderful. Haryana, a few words from you. Wonderful, brother. Looks, you got to speak up you have to speak so that your face will be or let's go to the gallery view if everyone has got their videos. So we can see this is probably the largest gathering that we have had in the Go With series, almost 50. At one time it was 54. It's nice. I have to thank Hari Anna for continuing to bring amazing souls to our midst, and the simplest learning experiences that we are having in every unique way. Hannah, a few words from you, please.
Yeah.
Could everyone turn on your videos? It would be nice to see one another, and so that when we can sign off with Samasta Loka, all of us are there, and we can chant for that. Haryana, a few words from you.
Yeah. Sairam to every one of you, and Arul, you're fantastic, and your talk was so simple with excellent narration, especially about your admission, about your artwork, about everything, and also about your accident and all those things. And because you are such a lovely soul, you could express yourself in that loving way. And you brought that how you love Swami, that you brought it so beautifully. I am very happy because, you know, all three of you are very close to me. Vanana knows that. I love all three of them, and all three of them are very close to me. And you brought whole essence today. Thanks a lot, Arul, and may Swami bless you, Thiru, Krishni, and the whole family with excellent, uninterrupted devotional life, uninterrupted blessings for all of you. This is from Singapore devotees, and all of us happy to see Jagdish Rajram also here.
Yeah, Hari, Arul, Selvanathan, Arunodayan and Arimadithan have been loved by everyone in the hostel.
Exactly.
I hope Arul remembers me.
Yeah.
I remember you very well.
Thank you.
That's another experience.
Arul.
There's another experience of, I had an experience of singing Swami bhajan in front of Swami in the Akhanda Bhajan Day. That time Jagdishana was there, and I have that experience of the Swami, where how Swami responded to me. At that time Jagdishana was there in the Akhanda Bhajan. One time I sang in front of Swami, so I have another experience.
I remember that. I remember that very well. Very nice, sir.
I narrate maybe next time, or when I always say that I have no time limit to speak about Swami. There's no limit, or there's no limited number of people. If it's one person, or if it's 10 person, or even 100 people, it doesn't matter, because we are getting an opportunity to talk about Swami. So we are able to be in thought of Swami. Basically, when the moment we think about Swami, Swami says we cannot think of him. Avanarulale avantal vanangi. So the thing is, if we are able to think of Swami, actually we are fortunate. I'm sure all the people who are here, 50 family members who are here, none of us are affected by COVID. We are smiling and we are being so happy. Only because Swami's grace. And that's the thing. So coronavirus has come to the world because of karma, and we are enjoying life because of Swami's grace. So the thing is, so coronavirus was not sent by God. Our happiness was sent by God. The chance to be at home was sent by God. Chance to be with the family members was sent by God. With this Govind Satsangh. Okay, Satsangh is Sai Sang. Basically, that's basically the opportunity given by God. So the grace. So Swami says the problem is given to a man in order for them to think of God. But here, problem is not a problem for us actually. None of us will have, I'm sure. I don't think any devotee.
I remember, Arul, I remember, when all of us were in the learning spree of learning swimming, we called you also to learn, but you said that you have the water Gundam, so you're not willing to come and learn swimming.
Yes.
You still go by that, or have you come out of that?
I did go for swimming afterwards. Learned it a little bit. but I am
Good,
still not
good.
confident. But I made my daughter learn swimming.
Very nice, very nice.
But I was
So we
scared
used to
go
learn
the
in the
swimming
well
pool.
there.
I was scared to jump into the well, but I think when I had made the Ganesha statue, oh, there's another experience about the Ganesha statue. When I made the Ganesha statue, when we went to immerse it, that time I don't know from where I got the strength and fearlessness. I was in the water, the same well where we went to immerse the Ganesha statue. I was there, so that time. So another narration I can make, because it was the statue that I made is 108 kilograms at the end of it. I didn't know plan it. I made it was 108 kilograms, and Swami, I can narrate for another long distance. So basically, I can talk over more. I don't want to delay your time. I don't know. If you have any questions, you can ask me. I am okay to answer.
You did well.
No, we definitely are going to have one on surrender for sure. Your brother's session is still a wonderful way we started, and we can see where all of you are having the same enlightenment by the total surrender that you have had with Swami. So we hope to have you again sometime. As Haryana is trying to do, our aim is to connect with as many of you, to rub in, to understand not just those direct lessons that came by the physical proximity then, but also by the applied inferences all of you have had in your lives ever since being a student. And I think that is the biggest take home for all of us, because every week we have one answer coming in its own unique way. Something that's the beauty of these satsangs, because we have not discussed what you are talking. And today is probably the first time we have had a satsang where we don't have a sound check before, where there's some preempting of what could be covered. So whatever has come today has absolutely been his directive in the simplest of manners. And the inbox, outbox, sent box analogy is absolutely fantastic. Makes a lot of sense. And so we look forward to it when you are back again in this series, hopefully soon. And until then, just a few important announcements for those who are in the Govind series. We will have Friday satsang, but Sunday next week will not be under this platform, but we are going to have Brother Tribhuvan, who addressed us earlier, Brother Tribhuvan Sachdeva. He is going to be addressing on the national platform of Singapore, and he's going to be talking about Guru Mahima. So he's going to be talking about Guru Mahima. So next Sunday, Govind series is giving way to a Singapore Govind series that's happening on a national level. And but Friday satsangs will be on. We'll let you know who is talking. Haryana is the man of the mystery who will let me know when the time is right as to who is speaking. Until then, let's finish off with, let me just double check there's no questions from anybody. We'll finish off with 21 Samastha Lokas. I'm going to mute everyone. Please do chant so that we don't have lags in between. And thank you so much, brother, for joining early in the morning for you. And it's been a blissful evening for us. Wonderful day a wonderful way to bring an end to a glorious day here in Singapore. Samasta lokaha sukhino bhavantu. 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 समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु 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 समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु।